We've got the Evolution job site table saw. This is the Rage 5. We built it all by ourselves with no trouble at all. It just went together very easily, very smoothly. It did not take us 2 hours and a little bit of today.
You mean 5 hours?
Yeah.
It didn't take you 5 hours.
We got a co-host here, Tools with Souls. What's going on, man?
Nothing. How are you?
You know, I've had a lot of table saws. My dad was the term carpenter is thrown around so loosely now. He was more of a cabinet maker, but we used to call them all carpenters back in the day.
Yeah.
But now you got different forms of the same kind of craft. But yeah, he would do cabinets, and he had the Deltas that were 240 volt that were like,
oh yeah,
huge, you know. And
yeah,
you're talking
cabinet saw.
Back in the 80s. I mean, he had some really, really nice equipment.
3 horsepower is the beauty.
Yeah. So we would what's up, Robert Walton? We got you here. So we got to see what we're doing.
Mr. Robert Walton.
First, I just got to show you how smooth this thing is. I don't want to wait any longer. I just got to show you. Like, see this wood here? It's like, see how much that jumps just by touching that?
Uh-huh.
Watch this, man. You see that? Like, even if I kind of bounce it.
Wait, are we going to do show and tell?
Not tonight. Maybe later.
Tune in on Sunday. We'll compare.
This is Evolution's turn right now. So,
all right.
They sent me this. This is the box here. I've got a coupon. I need to add the coupons for these videos. They've got the multi-material blade where you can cut nails and stuff. A lot of people complain whenever they're trying to recycle pallet wood. So even a lot of people on YouTube that are always trying to build things out of pallets and stuff. This is the blade for you. This is the multi-material cutting blade. They call it the TCT blade. And if you don't know what that blade is capable of, I'm actually going to show you right now on another Evolution saw. This is their miter saw. And we have the same blade on this saw. And it cuts everything. And we're going to do something.
Cut a Makita.
We actually could cut a Makita. But we're going to cut something crazier.
Oh, nothing's quite as satisfying as watching someone destroy a Makita.
We're going to cut 2-inch rigid with it. So
and I will say, this is something I don't believe I have ever attempted on a miter saw.
And first off, so we're a little cramped for space in our new shop here. But watch how this thing slides, dude. First off, just watch it slide on those rails.
Guess who's ready for Christmas right now, buddy?
Maybe you. Maybe you.
Let's see.
Okay.
Yes, cut it. You finally got the saw figured out. Record-breaking time putting together. He went for the world's record of longest time to put a table saw together.
Yeah, it didn't take us hardly near as much time as it took to build Rome.
I do believe other people have actually built their entire stand in less time than and out of wood in less time than it took you to build the one they gave you.
So this is actually kind of a nice feature, right? This actually works.
Oh, I do like that.
Very quickly. You can see it's made for pipe. It's made for all the materials. And the thing about any kind of safety device is if it's quick and easy to use, it's going to get used. So you just tap this right here and this will drop right on top of the material. And it's ready to go. Just like that.
That's great. That's a great feature.
This is not plugged in right now, so don't worry.
Were you hitting the button?
No, my finger was next to the blade, though. Okay. Cool. I don't know if you guys were here for the live when we ran these plugs.
Is it a shadow light or is it laser?
It's a laser.
Okay. I see it.
Yeah. So we got a little bit going on. And it's live, so it's pretty easy to forget to do certain things.
Believe me, I know.
So we're actually just going to move this whole clamp. Get it out of the way. We might slide this over.
I think Sunday everybody should tune in as we compete over best woodworking equipment.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
Can you at least get the saw and frame? Thank you.
Oh, here we go. First off, look at the nice slow ramp on that, man. You know the motor's going to last a long time, and that's made of metal.
Yes. It's like butter. That looks fantastic.
And you can touch this. It's not even hot.
That's amazing.
You can completely it's not even hot, dude. It's not even a little bit warm. It's actually almost the same temperature. It's pretty insane.
That's amazing. It really truly is.
So this blade is on this saw right now.
Richard Hosey, it was painful watching him put together yesterday.
They sent me this too.
Christmas season, absolutely.
And if they can make a blade like that, I'm excited to try the blades like this. So they wanted me especially to show you guys the capability of these blades. And I think that just, man, that's just impressive. I've used the Milwaukee blades. I've used the Hilti blades on a circular saw.
Yes, sir.
So, I'm kind of cheating with the downward force and all that because it's not a circular saw.
Right.
But I can tell you right now, that's freaking amazing. Look at the teeth on it, man.
That is amazing. I wonder if it would cut all thread.
Yeah. It'll cut all thread.
Okay.
There's not too much that this won't cut.
I'm just saying that because if you've ever had all thread, a lot of times that thread will catch on the back tooth, and it tends to send the piece off into a wall or a human being or what have you.
Oh, I see. The biggest thing, I'm not really wearing safety glasses, but I am wearing glasses, right?
Yeah.
So you definitely need to be wearing some form of eye protection because you get little shrapnel that shoots everywhere. And the shrapnel does get a little bit warm. But, I mean, the proof is in the pudding, man. It's a fantastic tool. Check this out. Little things, dude. Watch. This right here, the storage of it, it straddles this right there and just sits in it. It can't walk around once you set it there. So even though it's always able to pivot, it still stays right where you want it.
That's cool. Sweet. That is sweet.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and lock it back up.
I want to see the saw, the table saw.
Let's see the saw. We need to make some room for it. Hang on.
All right. I want to see how well it rips.
Yeah, actually, Evolution was really happy with the videos we've been making. And they weren't paying enough attention to their blades. And I was like, no, your blades are amazing. That's why I wanted your stuff, the blades. So they said, we want to send you some more blades. And I said, hey, honestly, man, with what I've been through and everything that I've had to do, I would love to have a tool. He said, we can also send you a tool. I said, if it's not too much trouble, do you want to send me a table saw?
Is there a thickness limit in the blade? Can it go quarter, half inch?
Let me see, because the blade that they sent me, sorry, my shop is a mess. The blade that they sent me, it didn't have any advertising with it.
Yeah.
But the first package they did send me had a lot of advertising about their blade. So, you know what? I'm just going to answer the question like this. I just cut a full 1/4 inch of steel.
Yes.
Call it 3/16 for good
Very
measure.
impressive. Yes.
I don't think you're going to run into something too thick for this.
Okay. Hey, let me ask you guys in the chat: is a fence considered perfectly aligned, or as close to perfectly aligned as a human being can get, if it is 0.02 millimeters off? Would you find that acceptable in your shop, or would you tinker with it? You don't want it perfectly at 0 because it could lead to some kickback on you. So you don't actually want it perfectly at 0. But I've been vacillating between 0.04 and 0.02 as being good enough.
Okay, let's give it a little safety bump.
It's got a little bit of power to it.
Yeah.
You
Very
gave
nice.
it the safety bump.
Just to make sure. All right. So we got the miter gauge here. We're going to get this out of our way. But I thought it was interesting. The miter gauge, this is actual metal.
To 1 inch movement. Damn.
And
I wonder if it heats up. I don't know.
that
Might as well, yeah.
that's an interesting touch, I will say.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if I've ever seen one of these on a miter gauge.
Yeah, I can't say that I've ever seen it or needed it. Even
Uh,
Incra doesn't have it.
It's interesting.
And don't we all
Nice.
just use our hands anyway?
I mean, oh, for this, yes. Yeah.
So let me see the button on that. Oh, all right. They're typical for a job site saw. I like it. Sticks out a little bit. You know, some of the other brands, it's only out like that when it's not locked, and then when it locks, it completely folds under. Does that one
That's
fold?
true.
Or does it stick out? Like just the button? Yeah, just the handle there.
Yeah, it
Okay,
goes
that's
down.
great. That's great.
Yeah, it locks really tight right now, so I might do some adjusting off camera. But man, it slides really, really nicely.
Does look it. Yeah,
What's interesting, it's got this little kind of,
Did you get?
auxiliary rip vents
You
here,
did.
and these, it slides right off. See here? That's the bolts on the backside. And it's easy to install, but I don't know if I like that. Just a personal preference. There's nothing wrong with it.
Hey, it's good for thin rip.
Yeah. All right.
So,
So let's get let's get something going.
are you going to rip that entire length? Because if you are, you don't want to use the thin rip guide. You're going to actually want to use.
I think I'm going to probably use the miter, test the miter gauge, cut this in half, and then rip the rest.
Okay. Well, can we try a 5 cut? Can we try a 5 cut? 5 cut?
5 cut. Okay. On the miter?
Yeah, of course, on the miter.
All right, hang on. Let me. I'm just gonna take this whole fence off.
All right. Do you have a? Do you have a caliper or a?
I got a square.
An engineer square.
Yeah, I got something. I got something in here.
That'll do.
Oh, you know what? I've actually got this one too.
Okay. I'll show you what I use.
Hang on. Oh, I was hoping that was going to slide in that little slot.
So I use two things. If I'm doing it with like a piece of wood like you are, I
Yeah.
use a digital caliper.
Okay.
Or I actually have an engineered square. It's 90 degrees. It's always 90 degrees.
We're going to see how good this line is parallel to this blade, because
All right.
that's sliding in that groove very nicely.
All right.
We're going to leave this crooked on purpose, and we're going to push it up there to where it levels itself. It's not going to do it. We're going to give it a little bit of help.
Well,
There you go. There. I'm going to lock it down. You can already see it's got a little bit of
play.
Now let's see what happens. Okay. Should we play with the thing while we're on camera? One hand to be safer.
Should we play with the thing?
Should we play with the thing?
What thing are we gonna play with there, sir?
This thing.
Oh, yeah, I don't care. Here's my thought. Because you have that loppy end over there,
Yeah.
just cut that off and discard that,
Yeah.
and then make a total of
You know
5 cuts, but you're gonna flip the board every time.
I don't like. I'm just gonna put this up here. I'm just gonna put it up here.
All right.
Yeah. I don't like that thing.
All right. But cut off that loppy piece at the end. That's ugly.
Right.
Then make 5 cuts at 2 inches each.
Okay.
And just turn the board over every time.
I was gonna turn my vacuum on. Hang on.
All right. What do you guys think? How good is it going to be? I think it's going to be pretty square. I really do. Hey, what's this? I'm considering it Kansas. Dave, high torque hammer drill, 4 mode from Rigid. That's what I told him yesterday. Using it to work for videos. I think he will be. Only 5 thumbs up. Give some support. Thank you, Robert Walton. Gonna look at the Flex to Walton Milwaukee too. I'm a tradesman in Kansas, so I'm going to use it for DIY projects. Awesome, Dave. Any new pack? There you go. I would, honest to God, I would just get the Rigid and save myself the trouble. I do like the vacuum on the back of the towel. I don't like how far it sticks up, though. See how it's got the middle of the blade exposed, even when there's nothing in there?
Yeah.
That would be a big detriment to me.
All right. So you want me to make?
So come
cut
across
it
2 inches, make a cut, then flip the board around, make another cut at 2 inches, and just do that for a total of 5 cuts. So you're going to take a total of 10 inches off that board. Well, 10 and whatever 5 times an eighth is. So 5/8. That's kind of math for you right there.
Try that.
All right. Now do me a favor. Take your square. Do you have a digital caliper?
No, I don't have any of that stuff anymore, man.
Okay. Just take your square. Anyway, hold on. We'll make this real easy. Since you haven't flipped the main board over yet, take the cutoff piece and
Okay.
flip it. Yeah, flip it over. Now put it on the end. And don't try to force it. How does it line up? There is a gap there. There is a gap. You can see it on camera from here.
Yeah, you want to move the hang on, what do
Means
you
your
need?
blade's out of square.
Hang on.
Hey, it's a job site table saw, so it's not for precision.
Okay.
Well, 100% precision, but that's a fairly significant off there. That could be from your miter, or it could be from the blade itself. And you got to hope that it's from the miter just being out of alignment.
Let's try it. We'll flip it.
Flip it over. No,
First
the
off,
board.
hang on.
Keep that piece. Keep that
Yeah.
piece and put it.
We're about a 16th off.
Okay. That's ow. Okay. I got to think that's your miter guide. Being that far off.
Well, yeah. Let me set this thing to 0, its own 0, and see what it does.
Okay. Set it to 0. We need it to be perfectly at 0.
Well, I mean, it's going to be as much as the arrow will let me.
Does it have a detent?
No, I don't think so.
No, that's fine. I mean, it's a job site, so it's not going to have all the accoutrement.
So
I'd say you're pretty close there. All right. I was concerned that his volume
flip
wasn't
it.
working. Yep. Flip it and then cut it again, 2 inches. This will have to be your first cut, though. When you're dialing these things in, anybody that's ever done it, or if you haven't done it, the guys that have done it know this can be painstaking. It takes a long time to really dial in a table saw. I want to say mine Delta came pretty close, and it still took me like 4 or 5 hours of consistent cutting to get it balls on. So the reason you do 5 of these is at the end, you're going to take that 5th board, you're going to match it up, or that 5th cut, you're going to match it up to what you just cut. And then you're going to take each of the next ones and you're going to line them up to see how much variance there is.
You know, that actually helps a lot.
What? Having it at 0?
Yeah. Yeah, not using the
Oh. It's hard to tell, but I still think you're off.
Oh, it's definitely off. It's not going to be dead on.
Damn. That's actually it actually looks fairly significant. Did you turn it? It looks like you turned it.
I did.
Okay. So that piece, don't turn it around this way, just flip it over. No. You did the exact opposite of what I said. There you go. Okay, yeah, that's fairly significant right there.
Yeah.
You can see it's significant. It's significantly off. Do you have anything? Can you put anything in your miter slot on the opposite side to check the front and the back of the blade? I'll show you guys what I use.
No, I don't have any jigs or anything.
Okay. So this is what I use.
Yeah,
And
I don't.
By the way, the amazing product. Got this at the Grizzly store a while back, but
I'm jealous.
you can really tell you're a serious woodworker if you got one of these hanging around.
Yeah.
And what it does is you can set it at a place, and you just zero it out. So whether it's the blade on your table saw or like what I was doing tonight, I was checking my rip fence. You'll set it at a place at the beginning of the miter saw or the miter guide. There are little detents that tell you where to place it. So it'll be about 3 inches in. And you set it there and you hit 0. So you zero it out. So that's your beginning point. And then you slide it through your miter gauge or your miter slot to the other end. So again, about 4 inches away from the end of the table. And what that'll do is it'll tell you whether your blade or your fence is in alignment.
I would say.
But however, you can do it with a square if you have a small enough square, or if you have it's a different type of square. It's just the L-shaped squares. And you can line those up to be in your miter slot, and you can check it that way. I did a whole video on it that no one watched. Just saying.
Dang.
For all those guys that say I can't build or do anything, I know so much for a guy that can't do anything. Caught up and locked down anyway. I can see it from here. Tactics, not lying. Is angled down towards the left. Yeah, it's significantly off. A big square. Yep. Well, it's an L square. A significant wobble. I didn't see any significant wobble in the blade. I wish I could show you guys mine.
Let's see.
I wish I could show you guys my setup.
There's some pretty good wobble in the blade, actually.
What's
There's
that?
a little bit of wobble in there. It wobbles a little bit. A little bit.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Wow. That's hold on. I just gotta check.
It's like that song.
Hey, just so you guys know, I'm gonna turn my table saw on, and my microphone's gonna be next to it. So my blade has no wobble. Hey, some of that could just be that because we're watching on a video, the teeth, because of the way the teeth are, you have one side that sticks out, the left side, you have the right side that sticks out. So that might be some of what we're seeing there. Is my table saw loud?
Not too bad. Not StreamYard, but I think our other stuff kind of deadens the noise a little bit.
That was full bore. That's what mine sounds like.
Nice.
It's such a quiet saw. Here's another one for you to test. Actually,
hang on.
Let's
I'm gonna
test
rip
out
it
and see if that's actual table wobble or blade wobble. Do you have a nickel?
Dude, actually, I don't think I do. I got a washer.
Well, yeah, anything that's flat that you can stand up.
Okay.
It's got to be round, and you got to stand it up. Then when you hit the power, if you can get it to stand up on end.
Ha 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 ha.
Can you?
No.
Okay. Ask your wife for a nickel. See if she's got one. That's what we used to use, by the way. It's called the nickel test. So you would take a nickel and you would set it kind of east-west. If your table's north-south, you'd set it east-west on your table. You would hit the start. You would start the blade. And if that nickel falls or it moves back and forth, that means either your blade, it actually means that your blade is out of alignment.
Nice.
I know a lot about this stuff, guys. I apologize to you.
I'm gonna rip this and see how it does.
Okay. It's too thick so they couldn't rip.
I don't think it's too thick.
I don't like leaving the thin rip. Take the thin rip. What are you doing? Something goes on the front. Finger goes up against it.
I got stuck.
You got sucked? I don't know what he said, folks, but it sounded like he said he got sucked. Like they said, it's job site saw it'll be cutting sheet all day. That's true. Yeah, saw the wobble. Big square. I didn't see wobble. I haven't seen any. I haven't seen anything that would cause me any concern over this, but I am kind of concerned that his camera just kind of stopped. Maybe YouTube stopped us from seeing bloody. What is today? Wednesday? You know, Halloween was yesterday. He's got the blade too high. That's the other thing. But with that vacuum hose back there, man, there's so many things. You know, I think the vacuum hose should hang a little higher to allow for material to pass through. I don't see any of the prawls at the back. Can you guys see me, by the way? If you guys can see me, kind of hit it in the chat, because I have no idea if we're still on right now, because he lost his connection. But either way, I don't see any prawls at the back of the cover, the sheathing or whatever you call it. Okay. The hose is pulling up the guard. Yes, we can. Okay, perfect. So I don't see any prawls. I personally don't use the guard, but I do use the prawls on bigger materials because I don't want them to kick back and, hit me. You got to remember, you're the softest object in your shop. So that is something to keep in mind. Those prawls will they will stop the wood from kicking back at you, and at least give you enough time